Are you ready for UFC 299 this weekend? Well, I got some exciting news for you UFC fans. I have teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the ultimate fight night experience. Imagine this, you're a new customer to DraftKings, you place an initial wager, and if that bet doesn't hit, no sweat. You will get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet up to $1,000. Just download the DraftKings app. Make sure you sign up using my promo code Sonnen. The crown is yours. And DraftKings has got something for the existing customers as well. All customers get SGP insurance every day. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your initial bet if one leg of your SGP loses. Minimum number of legs required and maximum bet varies. If sportsbook betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Download the DraftKings app right now. New customers, use my promo code Sonnen and get a no sweat bet. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Suga Sean had a bad camp. It's on bloodyelbow.com right now. Gotta be true. Now, I can't dispute it. Like, I don't come to you with information from the camp. But my teammate, Jim Welsh, ran the camp, and he doesn't run bad camps. You do what you want with that info. I will also let you know, Sean O'Malley had a legit injury one time. He wasn't hurt. It was an injury. It was an injury to his leg. You guys saw it on television. He conducted his post-fight interview from the canvas because he couldn't stand. Joe Rogan had to get down on to the mat. That was on a Saturday. Sunday, he flew home. And on Monday, outside, by a swimming pool in his beautiful home, he did a mitt workout on one leg. I'm only telling you that because camps for some guys are real. That's what they do. I'll tell you a quick story of the late, great Evan Tanner, rest his soul. Evan was a camp guy. Evan Tanner, I would put, his work ethic was as hard as anybody I had seen. Randy Couture was the hardest worker, and I met Evan, and they were close when Evan had a signed contract. Randy would go to practice twice a day, every day, no matter what. And there was times that he would pick up the intensity. Evan would go to practice up to 3 times a day, but he would only do it once he had a signed contract. And a number of guys do that. Luke Rockhold, just for example. I'm bringing names like Evan and Luke to tell you, these are world champions. Like, you can go a really long way doing that. It can also give you time to refresh instead of doing it year round. It can make it more seasonal. Like, there's positive sides to it. But for the guys that don't do it, like O'Malley, the guys that are going in all the time and they're getting their workouts in, there really, by definition, isn't a way to have a bad camp because there's really not a camp, right? I mean, he's going to the same gym. He's with Tim Welsh all the time. It's not like, he's flying in or they're going somewhere. I'm just trying to explain the difference for you. And if you are talking about the roughly 8 weeks prior to a fight and you're just labeling that as camp, you would be operating within some of the vernacular of our industry, but I will tell you it's a bit misleading. And O'Malley's camp for the Aljo fight, which simply means the weeks leading up to the Aljo fight, he was hurt. It was a rib injury, and it was bad. It was very bad. I mean, he couldn't live grapple. I will tell you, one of the most painful things you can have is a rib injury. It affects the way that you breathe, and doctors can't do anything. They can't set it. They can't cast it. It's a very tough situation to deal with. So having a bad camp wouldn't necessarily be something new. And it's one of the reasons that the weigh-in is so important, right? Like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But one reason that Dana White faces these guys off, it's not just for marketing. Like, lines have moved before. When bettors have seen guys weigh in. I remember Mike Tyson did a training camp out in Hawaii one time, and he weighed in at 20 pounds more than he had ever weighed before. And the line it sunk and moved because now you know where a guy's level of fitness is at. And I only bring that to you because Sean O'Malley's got to work hard to make 135 pounds. Like if you're worried about his camp or you're worried that if he's getting enough work in, he would not be able to make the weight class. 135 pounds is a byproduct of going through proper training. Simply bringing that to your attention because it is catching on and people are saying it and Sean is very quick to deny it. And then I always do have to wonder, like, what do you mean bad camp? What does that mean? And I had this guy when I was in college. He lost a wrestling match. He was upset. He was the defending national champion. He lost to a freshman. They asked him, my coach, Chuck Kearney, Chuck was at the event. Chuck says to the guy, hey, you know what happened out there? The guy says, oh man, bad chicken. Chuck says, excuse me? The guy said, I had some bad chicken. And Chuck says, what do you mean? What happened? Like, you have food poisoning? The guy's like, oh, no, nothing like that. Chuck's like, what do you mean bad chicken? Like, it wasn't prepared the way you like? Like, what do you mean? What does that mean, bad chicken, as a way of explaining why you had less points than this other guy when time run out? And you never got another answer. The guy just kept repeating it. He just kept going, oh, no, bad chicken. When we rematch, nobody, don't, bad chicken. We never got a better answer than that. And when I keep hearing this about O'Malley had a bad camp, what does that mean? What was bad? They didn't like the weather? The music they were playing? What was it? The teammates were mean to him? Somebody hurt his feelings? He's injured? What is it you're saying? And if you don't have that piece of information, then more than likely you don't have any information, which means the story in itself is likely bunk.